The splash was soft, almost gentle, the kind of sound you'd miss if you weren't already listening for it. I was standing by the old neem tree, pretending to fix a loose rope on the cattle shed, when I saw my grandson lift the small wooden box with both hands. His arms trembled, not from weight, but from hesitation. For a second he looked around, not to check if anyone was watching, but as if he was asking the world for permission. Then he tipped the box. It disappeared into the darkness of the well. My heart stopped. That box had my wife's name carved into it. If you love deep, emotional life stories like this, subscribe to the YouTube channel Silent Revenge Story. Share this story with someone who values family, and press the bell icon so you never miss a story that touches the soul. I didn't shout. I didn't run. I didn't even breathe properly. Because some losses don't make noise, they hollow you out silently. That box was supposed to be buried beside her grave when I died. It held the last pieces of her that the fire hadn't taken: letters, a broken bangle, a folded corner of the sari she wore on our first anniversary, and a diary she told me never to read unless I was strong enough to face the truth. And my own grandson had just thrown it away like garbage. I waited until he walked back toward the house, his shoulders stiff, his steps rushed. Only then did my knees give way. I sat on the ground, my back against the tree, and stared at the well like it had swallowed my entire life. People think old men cry loudly. We don't. Our tears fall inward. My name is Raghav Mehra. I am 72 years old. I have lived long enough to understand that the deepest betrayals do not come from enemies. They come wrapped in love, calling you Dada. My wife Savitri died 3 years ago. Everyone says she passed peacefully in her sleep. That is not the full truth. Savitri was the backbone of this family, quiet strength, endless patience. She remembered birthdays no one else cared about. She fed strangers without asking names. She loved even those who took advantage of her kindness, including our son, including his wife, including the grandson who threw her memories into a well. When she fell sick, doctors called it age-related weakness. Hospital visits became routine. Medicines piled up. Our son Anil said he would handle everything: papers, payments, insurance. I trusted him. That trust would later haunt me. After Savitri passed away, the house changed slowly. Not overnight, slowly enough that grief could hide the warning signs. Cupboards were locked, documents vanished, rooms were rearranged. One afternoon, Anil said casually, "Baji, Ma wouldn't want you holding onto old things. Let go." That night, I noticed the wooden box was missing. He told me it was kept safely. I believed him. Children learn lies by watching adults lie well. Kunal used to sit with Savitri every evening. She taught him stories, chess, and patience. He cried loudly at her funeral. I thought his tears were real. Now I know better. That night, after seeing the box fall into the well, I couldn't sleep. I lay staring at the ceiling fan, listening to whispers behind walls, feeling the house breathe around me like it was alive and hiding something. Before sunrise, I went to the well with a rope and a torch. My hands were steady. Pain had already done its worst. The light revealed the box floating near the stone wall. It hadn't sunk. Just like truth. I climbed down slowly, every step reminding me how deep silence can go. When I finally held the box again, my arms shook not from effort, but from fear of what I might find. Inside was not just memories. There was a sealed envelope addressed to the police. And Savitri's diary. The first page read, "If you are reading this, Raghav, it means I am gone and you are stronger than I thought." She had written everything. The forged medical papers. The money taken from her treatment funds. The signature she was forced to give while medicated. The slow killing not by poison but by neglect. She stayed silent for one reason. to protect her grandson. At the end she wrote, "If they try to erase me, do not stay quiet." I collapsed beside the well and cried like I hadn't cried in decades. That morning, Anil noticed the mud on my clothes. "Where were you?" he asked. "At the well," I replied. The silence after that was louder than any confession. I did not confront them. Old men who rush toward revenge die too soon. Instead, I smiled. I told Anil I wanted to transfer the house to his name. I told my daughter-in-law I trusted her completely. I told Kunal I forgave him. Forgiveness makes people careless. Over the next month, I quietly met a lawyer Savitri trusted. I submitted copies of every document. I placed my assets into a trust, not for Anil but for Kunal, locked until he turned 30, dependent on his conduct. When the police came, the house filled with screams. Anil was arrested for fraud and medical negligence. Kunal stood frozen. Later that night, he came to me crying. "Dada, Papa said it was just old papers." I handed him Savitri's diary. "Read," I said. That was the day his childhood ended. Anil went to prison. Not for murder, but for enough truth to destroy the life he built on silence. I moved out of the house. I live quietly now near a temple, simple room, calm mornings. Kunal visits every Sunday. He doesn't call me Dada anymore. He calls me Sir. Respect is what remains when lies are stripped away. Sometimes I still sit near the well. The villagers want to close it. I tell them not to. Some wells should stay open. They remind us how deep things can fall, and that even from the darkest places, truth can still be pulled out.